What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Dandadan, this time with Season 2, Episode 8. Good episode last week, was a bit more of a chill one until the end of the episode, of course, with Gigi, which was honestly quite sad, just seeing him disappointed and, yeah, just the fact he's, well, I mean, everyone's got to deal with him kind of turning into that guy, but he's also got to deal with him knowing everyone's got to deal with that, which absolutely sucked. Oh my god, is it loud? We did end up running into these strange spirits, although I somehow feel like they might be like not evil. But yeah, we had the whole kind of rhythm of your heartbeat and such rhythm stuff at the end of the episode. I really like the first half with Mau Mau and Okaran, just Momo and Okaran, sorry. Yeah, her just doing her shift, waiting for Okaran at the end of the day. It was really nice. Sama. Sakakura Sama. Rest in peace, is that meant to say? They don't actually, like, they don't look evil. They look kind of cute. Cute little chibi old guys. Old musicians. They do sound pretty evil, just from their laughing and such though, so. Okay. Strange fellows. Although, there's that whole thing, isn't there? I think you've got to be a bit weird to kind of be at like a top level of something. Usually find like the most successful people in the world are usually quite strange people. Or like when you think of athletes, you might think they're normal people, but their mentality and how they see things is very different from a normal person. I think this shows a good example of that. Just like being, I mean, anime in general is a pretty good example of like being weird is it's almost like a superpower in a way. Being not normal, and especially with that kind of, in contrast to the Japanese social kind of the economy and such, where it's all very on the same page. Everyone's trying to contribute to society and be a societal member and be a normal person. It's a very interesting contrast. Still, I can't read music. I tried in, I think it was like the first year of high school. I had like piano classes and stuff, and I was just absolutely useless at it. Every time I've tried learning it, I'm useless. I tried learning guitar. I used to do violin in primary school, and as I said, awful at everything I've attempted. I used to be good at Guitar Hero though. I don't know why, that guy looks like the most recognisable to me for some reason. On the right. Pretty sure all of those guys are probably based off of real people. I do kind of recognise the pianist as well, but yeah. Not too knowledgeable about classic music either. A weird fight. Oh no, they actually do stop you. You do rest in place, not rest in peace. Okay. This feels very like video game fight type thing. She is showing why she was, I think, double his pace. He said at the end of the last episode. And this is like very video game-esque, isn't it? A lot of video game bosses and such are just like a set combination of inputs that you could say is a rhythm. Say as a musical performance of sorts. See that a lot with like the Souls games and stuff. Recent one that I played was Nine Souls, and that was very that way inclined. Just like go into the rhythm. Like I used the music a lot in that game to kind of judge when the bosses would like do stuff, and you got to listen out for like the certain tells and stuff. That was a really good game. I like that a lot. Very difficult, especially the true ending of the final boss was incredibly difficult for me, anyway. Ooh. This is an awesome soundtrack. This is like something we would play on Guitar Hero. A lot of feet in our face, aren't we? Yeah, it does evoke that performance, doesn't it? Oh, it is that song. Okay. No wonder. Bobbleheads. Oh, old lady looking fierce right there. Oh my god, he's gone back to being a picture. Who the hell was that guy? I don't recognise him. It was, again, probably some of you guys probably sounds crazy because I imagine these are some of the biggest musical inspirations and artists ever, I assume. But blue ones now. All different colours. Yeah, that's like a little bit like what I had to do with violin. I was terrible at it. Terrible. I was so bad. I changed from doing that stuff to just plucking it. They made me pluck it because that was so much easier. And I don't think that's what you're meant to do with a violin at all. Oh no, Italian fucking singer. Italian opera singer. Oh shit. The final boss. So what he is? Do you guys ever see those videos of like sometimes they pop up on like Twitter, just like people in a restaurant, then some guy starts opera singing, super fucking loud. That'd be so annoying. Got a whole family. And it's impressive, don't get me wrong. There's a time and a place for that kind of stuff. An interesting perspective. What the hell? Why? The guys. I was gonna say, why is it just coming out of the woman? What's going on here? Well, there's way too many people here to fight. Alright. Got no idea what's going on in the scene, by the way. What is the significance of these people coming out of these guys' mouths? It's like they're fighting each other. Yeah. I do really like her design. It does look so much like an Iran card, doesn't it? I like it a lot. Jesus. What an absolute mess. I also do really like the style they've gone with here, the black and white. I mean, I think that's with like the ages of this time period that they're covering with the music and stuff. But I do quite like a black and white movie every now and then. I know this is a classic that people have probably watched ages ago, but I only watched 12 Angry Men for the first time the other day. It was really good, actually. Really good. Previously, I think one of the only black and white movies I watched apart from that was fucking Human Centipede Part 2, which was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I've also got to say, like, there was like absolutely no build up towards all of this, by the way, like none. We just we got told about the rhythm stuff, and we got straight into this fight. I don't know about you guys, like, it looks fantastic, but it doesn't really like. We spent 6 or 7 episodes on the last GG arc, and comparatively, I mean, this might look similarly as good, but it's nowhere near as good, actually, is it? I don't know about you guys. I like the again. I love the style of it, but just like impact wise, it doesn't feel nearly as impactful story wise, and that's just something that's quite big for me. So it's an interesting decision getting into this so quickly. Back to the pictures. Let's see. I've definitely seen that guy. Definitely seen that guy. I imagine one of those guys was Beethoven. Like I said, though, I'm fucking useless with this kind of stuff, so don't count on me to know. As I said, it just feels like I've definitely seen that guy as well. Um, yeah, it just felt like, yeah, I recognize that guy on the left now, and that's pretty much the only one apart from the main one. Yeah, as I was saying, like, that was good, but it's just like I prefer something that's kind of like built up with a story and like know a bit more about the villains per se and stuff. It felt very quick, didn't it? It was like, I guess there's that kind of training arc type thing though, where there's never been a training arc that truly kind of wows. I'd say the Hunter x Hunter's training arc of like the Heaven's Arena and such was probably one of the best I've seen. But still, in comparison to the other arcs of Hunter x Hunter, it really was nowhere close. So it might just be one of those things, but it's all just felt very fast, like getting straight into this. Could have been a little bit build up. But yeah, I think this was just a tool to further this, wasn't it? A tool to kind of power him up. Almost a little bit like how the kind of Chainsaw Man's power system works. The fear of those things kind of gave power to it. Makes sense. If everybody here wanted to become a musician and become good at their craft, those would be heavy figures to live up to. Yeah, that part was alright. Like I said, it looked really nice. Style was cool. The animation was good. A little bit too much feet in the face for my tastes, but there's certain people out there would like that stuff. But yeah, it just felt, I wouldn't say lazy. It just felt like it was a quick tool to get us from point A to point B with a little bit of style involved in it. Like, compare it to the Bleach, and Bleach isn't even one of my favorite shows, but I do like Bleach. Compare it to that, the training arts in Bleach, and the training arts in Bleach feel very heavy. They actually feel very slowed down, character focused, and developing. I'm much more invested in this. Even though there's nothing flashy happening. But look at her standing there, proud. Why would you call that proud? I don't know what you call that. Defiant. I don't know. I like the pose. wet him. We're going to take you down right here, right now. So, yeah, as I said, it very much does feel that felt like a vehicle to get us to this point, didn't it? And again, I wouldn't say lazy in terms of artwork and stuff, but writing wise, I feel like this was a little bit lazy, in my opinion. Again, it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, not a widely shared one, but like it feels like there was no other point of that than to get here. And you could say that about a lot of things, but this especially just felt, yeah, it's an unusual flow. Like we've never had this in the show before. Never had something like that. So that's why I felt a bit out of place. And here we go. There's the stuff we actually care about. I love this OST as well. One of my favourites from the show. He sure does. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, after that, you can't just say no. It's like weird analogy here, but getting a boner and it just kind of deflating. It just kind of going down, unsettled. Oh wow, that was the end of the episode. So yeah, again, not the biggest fan of this one. As I said, just pacing wise, it doesn't. I feel like the rest of the series didn't feel like this at all. Probably on an island with that, but again, it was cool. There was some cool shots and cinematography and artwork and so on, but I'm very much someone that does value other things. I know that the usual kind of anime viewer nowadays, like what you considered the kind of average anime fan, really likes things like solo leveling and such that are just, for me anyway, purely kind of visual based, and they just it more on how they look and how cool and sharp and such it looks rather than the actual contents of it. So this will probably be a big crowd pleaser in that sense. Yeah. I feel like the show usually has quite a bit more substance than issue today. And apart from at the end there, as I said, that's where we want to be. That's what I want to be focusing on. And again, I guess the issue to get there is that we had to deal with the first half of the episode. To get to that point of the things we want to focus on, we have to. But it could have just, I don't know. They could have done something more interesting there, right? Well, slight spoiler here, but okay. Slight spoiler in the preview there, with the outcome. But is it like, was it ever like, yeah? To be honest, as I was saying, like this maybe a slight spoiler, but were we expecting Okurin to lose after the determination he's shown, and just like what you expect in a show? No, I didn't really expect him to lose anyway. So spoiler, I guess, but not anything massive. I don't think it wasn't like totally like we weren't on the edge of our seat, like what was going to happen. I think we could all maybe predict Okurin's going to win this, as we do see here with Evil Eye acting all good in his school uniform. Pretty awesome shot there, to be fair. I want to rebuild the house. And it does look like a bit of a quieter episode next time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As I said, not my favourite, honestly one of my least favourite episodes in terms of the actual contents of it and like the story and the characters. And I know this is like a journey for Okurin to get stronger, but it did only feel like that. There wasn't much else going on here. From what I know, as I said, I'm really not knowledgeable about these musicians, so there might have been stuff gone right over my head. But for me, it just felt like this was Okurin. it actually kind of fleshed out more at the end of last episode in terms of what we were setting out to like get stronger, match the rhythm and such. It said a lot more last episode just leading up to this fight than the 20 minutes we spent on it. Again, there were some cool moments here, but not much else, not much more than that, to be honest. And as I said, I much in this show specifically, I do much like, again, it's flashy and looks really nice and really cool and is unique, but I actually really like the character relationships and the kind of developments between the characters. Momo and Okarun, especially this season, have had a lot of fantastic moments. I really like Ira as a character. I really like her interactions with Okarun, which you didn't see an awful lot of today. Like, they worked together on some things, but there wasn't too much like opportunity for them to like grow closer or something like that. So yeah, it just depends on what you value when you're watching like a movie or an anime or something, and not too much of it kind of appealed to me today. But yeah, I like the ending here. Again, getting to the real meat of things, taking on Gigi, which should be really good for his kind of mental state as well, knowing that Okarun, having just like defeated him, he can kind of be at ease and not have to worry too much about worrying other people and destroying things. And yeah, next episode looks like a cool one. Again, a bit more of a chill, kind of rebuilding the house, sorting things out, kind of smoothing over the cracks. So I was going to say, it's actually quite crazy, like 8 episodes in and we're still kind of fighting Evil Eye and Gigi. It's actually it kind of goes with what I said about the musical guys. We spent like 8 episodes with these guys and their conflict. Like, it just feels so much grander. There's so much more to it. There's so many more like character kind of pieces and moving parts to it than the. I know it was only a 50-minute segment compared to 8 minutes, but there's so much more in that, so much more interest to me than a 15-minute segment of facing off against some random kind of musical icons. Maybe to counter my point in that and be a bit unbiased, you could say that why don't you think that about the musical performance from a couple episodes ago with the exorcism? But the exorcism were kind of more a part of the actual kind of storyline, and I don't know, it's just something a bit cooler about that to me as well. Just something a bit more hard hitting to that as well. But that could be a kind of counterpoint to what I just said there. But yeah, anyway, do let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comments. Again, probably might think completely differently than me. Do let me know down below. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions though. Very much looking forward to the next episode, so I'll see you guys then, and have a good rest of your day.